right, welcome back, everybody. On the main stage, we've got C9 and Coast Blue ready to get playing here. Let's go and introduce our players. First up, Cloud9, hi-rez. The fellas, you know him, you love him. Saya right there in the center with that grin. Gotta love him. Sun Touch, Zalia, Smek, and Murder.
These guys went up against Snipe first round winners bracket, and they played amazingly. Snipe just barely edged them out in the end. They got the early lead in game 1. Cloud9 answered back quickly, but game 3 didn't quite work in their favor, and now they're going to have to go up first round lower bracket against Team Coast Blue. Check him out. Look at my man.
Spoo, Gortak, Funball, Qin, and hi-rez. What a great bunch of guys. And these are who we have on the main stage today. And honestly, you know, you look at the brackets, you just talked about the Snipe C9 game. What a wonderful series. We kicked off Friday with that matchup. The first one we saw, Wolfie go off.
That's true.
But the next game, Zalia showed his stuff. Now again, we're going to see if he can do it. We know upstairs, the analysts, they like C9 a lot. See how they can play. But Coast, they've been around for so long. Bipolar method?
That's true. I mean, Lobster, hi-rez. You know, back in the heyday of Smite, back it was still closed beta. Every single week we were facing off against those guys when I was still playing. And hi-rez is one of my biggest influences as a player. Honestly, I play half the gods I play because of this dude, and I'm so excited to be able to cast his game today.
So we're going to be hopping into the match, expecting some really exciting picks from these two teams. Now, we do know that Coast has some different picks down the pipe. They like to kind of pull in something, especially hi-rez, like you mentioned him, in the jungle. He came back when Thor was unpopular, started playing Thor a lot in the jungle as well. Bastet, when she hadn't hit her prime just yet, and then Chalk, he was the first one to just jump right on that Chalk train.
And it went from, I can't believe he's picking Chalk, to we're going to have to
Why haven't we picked Chalk
this.
yet? Like, why is there no Chalk in our game?
We have no answer to, and now
it's just rain, right?
Nobody has any answer.
Rain.
Except for Zalia. Zalia has an answer. We saw it yesterday.
Right.
Bakasura has a very good matchup in the solo lane. If Cloud9 takes second pick here, they could actually go for that counter pick.
Yeah, the biggest thing is when he first started picking Bakasura solo, it was to stop the very tanky Jungkook there in that lane. It's the same kind of matchup here. A slow-moving, very tanky but high damage output character like Chalk. True damage early on. I mean, Chalk players are thinking, you know, I got Rain Dance. I keep myself alive. The sustain is there. I have a little bit of a teleport with the Torrent. I'm not feeling too uncomfortable with this, and then Bakasura takes that all away.
And now it looks like we're going to be getting to the game in just a second here. This is going to be the first of 2 lower bracket round 1. If you do want to check out the other one, twitch.tv/SmitePro. If you're in the venue, take the elevator upstairs.
That's right. Upstairs, we do have the other stage. You want to check that out. First ban is going to be Nemesis. Not too surprising considering how much she's been played.
They did take second pick. They did take it. So Nemesis is out. Ra is out early, too. Answers back here to Team Coast.
We know Zalia loves Ra a lot. Spoo does play a lot of Ra, but not as much. So a little surprised to see Ra, but also plays into how they want to, you know, build their team and how they want to go into late game. That Solar Blessing on Sieges is so powerful.
Chalk gets banned out. Definitely a respect ban.
From Coast, though, a little bit interesting. They don't want to put it out there. Now it's something that you know, we haven't seen a whole lot.
Ban.
Yeah, a little bit backwards there. We know that hi-rez loves Chalk, but he's been playing a lot of other characters recently.
Which is good. I mean, the God pool on Coast was a little bit small in the beginning of this path to 100K, and it built up over time. And over the last couple weeks, it's gotten huge.
They've been putting in work over the last 3 months, and literally all over 2014 when they finally, and we saw hi-rez come back after hiatus and thinking, you know, is he going to be as good as he used to be? And certainly is.
Every single game.
It has to happen.
Every game.
The Allfather.
And it's funny because they keep buffing him because nobody plays him, and now he's completely broken. Wait. He won't do it. Zeus!
Funball!
Actually, Funballs has been trying to get his team to let him play Ares Hunter for like a month.
Yeah,
He keeps telling us about how good it is, and we're just kind of like... Answers back from Cloud9, though. There's the Wukong for Murder every single game.
We actually saw that on the highlight reel when we were coming in today, him wiggling back and forth away from the shots. And, you know, Murder plays that character so well, and, you know, if you're going to give it to him, that's it. That's all you need. But Geb's going to make it through. Now, this is a character I talked to the players before the tournament this weekend. They weren't really looking at Geb that much. But then, as soon as we saw him in the first few games, we're thinking, Geb's kind of good.
Speaking of a character we didn't see a lot of, here is Hun Bats, the Mayan Howler Monkey God. a lot of damage potential. And now, since they've reverted his attack chain back to normality, he can box.
A lot
box
faster.
For real.
It used to be a little bit difficult, especially there was a, it was so delayed. There was a strategy in how you should jungle and when you should use your ability, break the chain because the last hit was so slow, and the crit from the infused strikes. 50% critical strike chance after using an ability as passive. It's very powerful, but that hit chain change was huge.
All right, so Ice is going to be locked. That's going to be definitely mid for Sayo. One of his best gods. And Sun Touch got his best
that Bastet pick. Shooting over to Coast to see what they want to go with. Now, they have a lot of options here, but they have to respond to that Bastet Isis combo. We know Sun Touch's best god over time has been Bastet in the jungle. High mobility, high damage output. Now, yesterday we didn't see that great of an activation of Cat Call. The timing wasn't there, and he didn't have the rotations, but today, we might see a very, very different Sun Touch.
I actually like this pick, too, because Zeus has no escape. Are we going to see Hell here? Hell Apollo both hovered on. We saw a lot of Hell coming out from Wolfie. It's strong, and that's a good matchup against Bakasura.
It's going to be locked in. Now, back to Zalia. He loves being last pick. Will he go for the Bakasura? Now, his God pool, he likes Ra.
Yeah.
He likes Bakasura. Likes a lot of characters, actually. He's had a long... I asked him about this, and I know it's been pretty famous for him and Vamana. I asked him, are you even playing Vamana? He says, with the current setup, with Sprint, Heavenly Agility, those kind of things, I don't like playing Vamana that much anymore.
Yeah, I was talking to them in the hotel room. They were saying, like, if they pick multiple mages that can't escape, low mobility characters. But the issue here is with Geb getting a shield onto someone and then getting an Inspire off with Hell, how are you going to catch it? So finally, the answer's to him. Who are we going to see?
Will it be Amir? It is Amir.
Get out of here.
No, this is exactly what he was talking about. He put Amir on his list. I said, Zalia, what is your top 5 god list going into this tournament? He said Ra, he said Bakasura, and then he put Amir. And this is a character he's been playing in the solo lane. If you watch his stream, he does actually stream on Twitch TV. So if you watch him, he does occasionally pull out the Amir. He loves it against Ra.
Well, we actually saw this a few times before the path to 100K, and he was doing extremely well with it.
So he's going to be going up against a very strong Hell here. I'm sorry, against the Zeus. This has actually been quite good for him, getting close enough to get that Frost Breath, the Glacial Strike for the slow, and now Aegis Shield, the 2 for Zeus, no slow immunity. That Glacial Strike slow, it's huge.
He's going to need beads. He's going to need maybe Sprint. He'll have the Heavenly Agility most likely coming out from Hell. But early game, it's going to be rough.
Wait. Oh, man.
So it looks like we're
in mid lane.
Just getting into the game here. We're getting everything set up. This, again, is going to be the first game of lower bracket. Cloud9 hi-rez versus Team Coast, guys. Give it up.
Now, you called this... What is the name you gave for today?
I'm sorry?
What is the name you gave for today? Why are you wearing all black?
Today is what I like to call the funeral.
The funeral. Why is it the funeral?
The lower bracket, it's not about getting farther. It's about not going home. And we're going to see some early upsets today. The first 2 games that we're showing today, 2 teams are going to be eliminated, and that's rough.
So going into this game here, guys, at the top of their map, you're going to be seeing Cloud9 hi-rez. Give it up if you're a fan there in the crowd as well. Let me hear you. Sayo on Isis Smek playing on her Sun Touch in the jungle with Bastet Zalia. He's playing Amir as well as Murder on Sun Wukong.
All right, guys, we're going to check in with Team Coast as well. This is going to be the bottom side of your minimap. The blue team, one of my personal favorite players, hi-rez, going to be rocking Hunbat in the jungle. Spoo going to be playing Zeus in the mid lane. Funball's going to be going to the duo lane, playing that Hunter role on Apollo with Qin playing Geb. And finally, Gortak, the second player in the solo this time to play Hell.
Now we see Sayo back to his normal glory. He likes to start with the Lost Artifact and rush the Rod as fast as he can. Getting that farm up early on, it's very risky. We saw it in Game 1 yesterday against Snipe. He did it, and then Game 2, he switched the strategy. Went to normal build-up, controlled everything, decided, you know what, it's not going to be enough. I want to be as safe as I can be and not give it up. But this game, he's coming out strong. He's very confident.
I'm taking a look at the Coast lineup here. And considering this is a third-person MOBA and almost everything in the game is skill shots, you have a lot of AoE damage here that doesn't really have to be aimed, whereas if you go across the way, Sayo has to aim very hard, Sun Touch has to be on point from close range, Zalia, though, has a pretty big cone with that frostbite, but he has major blind spots.
He absolutely does. Gotta be careful. Left side, initiation going up for Q, and there's the impale. There's a few shots. Body block from Bunball. There's a shockwave to slow them down for quite some time. It looks like it's gonna be enough to get away, but you don't want to start the laning phase with 200 HP.
I mean, well, it's Geb.
It's Geb.
Geb just doesn't take damage, and when he hits level 2, he'll... Oh, this is risky, but he hits level 2. They're going to go in. Smack still level 1, only has Impale. Shockwave going to take a few shots in the back, but Murder with the body blocks going to keep him safe.
Not just the body blocks, but that Ox knocked him up in the air, prevented him from getting that lineup. And then once he was in position after the Ox, he could body block thereafter. Beautiful play.
So Beautiful going to go off, not really do what he intended there, but Funball's only one in the lane right now with full health.
Zeus the mid lane, Spoo versus Sio. The minions are being bursted down, kind of controlling this up. You can see the early clear from Zeus is a little bit lacking, especially up against an Isis where Spirit Ball the melee wave, Wing Gust the rest of it, you're good to go.
Absolutely. One of the best clears in the game. Actually, one of the worst clears in the game on Zeus.
Sun touch,
this could be big. This is early, but Spoo sees it. He's back to the tower.
Nice spot there. Now, of course, did not have vision, but he's got that inkling in his stomach. And, of course, you know, when you're playing mid lane, you're always keeping an eye on soul lane to see when the jungle leaves.
Right. I mean, really, he has to be very careful. Zeus is probably the most gankable mage in the game currently, especially before 5. He doesn't have that lightning storm to be able to hug the towers.
Suntouch lurking yet again, looking for Funball. Q and looks to see if he can see it in the jungle. There's the cat mission. Stone Shield on top. Murder, few shots. There's Ninetale. Razor Claw to disperse. Wonderful play. First blood going to C9.
Oh, man. Already C9 takes an extra bit of gold. Looking at the graph already, we're seeing them 500 ahead. 300 experience as well, and check it out, they're controlling the mid camps. hi-rez taking damage, will be forced away, and check this out, the Hand of the Gods can clear the minions as well here. Silence, that was beautiful, Drybear. Oh my god.
Good play there, controlling, and the right side actually ended up going to Suntouch as well, jumping over the wall and controlling, although he's quite low on HP, needs to be careful. Wait for that level 5 Spirit Ball, Wing Gust through the ranged minions and harassing him simultaneously. Sio, what a smart player.
He is. He knows when he can go in. He can see all of these points of damage, and I think that's one of the reasons he's just such a strong mid laner.
He really is. Right side, Zalia. Here comes the shot! Zalia 2-0 for C9.
This is what Ymir does. He looks at you, he assesses the situation, and then you realize, oh wait, Glacial Strike does 8 million damage at level 3.
That's right.
And that's what happened. Got the Shards of Ice off, hit him with the Frost Breath. Goodbye, hell.
This is Zalia's response to every squishy mage that goes in the solo lane there with amount of healing. So he's able to kind of go in there and burst them down.
Over on the right side, not only did he get the kill, but an entire wave of experience has been pushed in with no Gladiator. He lost all 6 minions.
Looking at the difference here, you can see that on the right side, Cortex sitting at 2,700 gold versus Zalia's 2,900, so just about a 200 gold lead. Right side, the cat call. Welcome back to the lane,
just got
Cortex.
Back.
Welcome home, Suntouch.
He just got
He's
back.
got no mana, but he goes down.
And he's going back.
He's going back home.
Gortak, man, he just keeps getting caught, but this is supposed to be Hell's strength, being able to get away from Carry. Oh, left lane, and they're not even done yet. This is Cloud9 hi-rez.
They're coming out to play today, and I think they're a little bit upset about it yesterday and how it went, and they come back to the dartboard, seeing how they can figure it out, and this is exactly what you need to do. Look at this. Murder already in the blue buff, checking it when it's about to respawn, coming up in just about 20 seconds or so. The second it comes up, before he gets back, they're going to try and seal it.
Well, it looks like both mid-camps will be... Oh, wait, Suntouch jumps over a little bit too early. Throws out the Razor Claws, but check it out. Zalia is there as well. The wall's good. Hand of the Gods is good. Lightning Storm, though, is doing some damage. The detonate's going to be big. Suntouch going to go down. Immediately answers back.
Looking for Zalia. One-shot Spirit Ball. Circle of protection. There goes the hit on top. Wing Gust, they're disengaging. Spoo getting out as fast as he can, but you know they were on the wrong side of the map there when that started up. They did the best they could. The damage output came, they got the kill, and then disengaged. Good play by Coast.
Gortak got there just in the nick of time, got the heal. Inspire speeds them up. They get out of there. Keep in mind that was a 1-for-4 there, but C9 did take both mid camps. Still slightly in favor of Team Coast, and the extra experience is going to help them, but that wasn't a major win there.
Desperately needed, though. Every little thing counts.
Yeah.
Getting that gold on top, especially giving up first and second blood to Cloud9 hi-rez. And now you can see hi-rez. He's pretty happy with the fact that he ended up getting that kill. Now you can see he's top farm on his team. He's tying pretty much the bottom half, actually, of Cloud9's Zalia, Sio, and Murder in that amount of gold. Mid lane, Cat Call comes out. Spoo in trouble. There goes Razor Claws. Do they want to go all in on that Spirit Ball? It's going to land! Spoo goes down.
He got 3 stacks on him from the Aegis shield there, and he didn't get the detonate off before the Spirit Ball hit him. That was incredibly clutch from Sio. Give it up. Oh, but he gets him again. Shield's already on cooldown. hi-rez very low on mana, but it looks like he will be able to escape there. Less than 200 health.
Now this is typical Sio strategy. He likes to sit in the mid lane and farm. I talked about his personal philosophy, what he thinks about the mid lane. He looks into the farm lane. He doesn't look aggressive. He doesn't want to fight anyone, and that's exactly what he's doing here. He's sitting back in the money he needs. Spirit Ball from a distance. Of course, it does a longer stun duration and more damage the further it travels, but he just likes hanging back and being the artillery.
I'm so interested in this solo lane because Zalia's Ymir right now has a small lead in experience, a pretty decent lead in gold, and he is just very much farmed at this point. And Ymir, I think, does probably the most underestimated damage in the game. But here's Smek with the stun. He's going to get Desert Fury. He's going to miss 2 spears. He needed them. Dispersal hit Diamond the tier 2. Smek just doesn't care.
Smek, we've seen him do it yesterday. Did it to Allied. He's so good with that on her. We haven't seen him play Neath all that much, but if you're going to substitute out with this kind of play, how can you blame him?
A lot of players consider on her high risk, high reward. They have the major penetration damage, of course. If you land the Impale, it's amazing, and you can use the Disperse offensively.
Right.
A lot of the players are telling me they're favoring him now because on land, there's much less to worry about in terms of ping and trying to lead your shots, and you just basically throw the Impale down the line.
Well, like you mentioned it, you hit it right in the head there. The Impale is the biggest part about it. If you can't hit it consistently, he's not a great god to play, because not only is it his CC initiation, but also it's going to be his ability damage. On her, one of the highest ability damage hunters early stage of the game, and if you're able to hit those shots consistently, he's powerful.
We have actually not seen much of Shiva. Oh, wait, let's talk about Spoo here. Lightning Storm versus Circle of Protection. But I don't know if Sio's getting out of this one. The silence will be good, but Sacred Monkey going to be tossed and take him down.
Great recovery by hi-rez. They're not wanting to let the kill on Spoo go to waste. And of course, picking off Sio with his farm. We know he rushes that rod. Huge play there, and that's going to kind of slow him down for a bit. Right side, Gortak, he's under so much pressure.
Gortak just took like half his health and then just immediately yielded back up. It's nuts.
Look at the healing done. You can see for Gortak, he's got a lot of it. 1,600 healing overall as well as 1,500 damage, so it's a pretty good split.
Yeah. Oh, mid lane, Sun Touch taking some damage, but he's diving in. hi-rez is but the shield is going to stop him from being slow for too long. He's going in deep. He's got him here. Diving against 3 people. Sun Touch at the tier 1. That's confidence.
Well, it's also understanding. I mean, you look at the cats, they got the slow on top, the stacking up, and all he knows, I need one ability. Razor Claws, if I get close enough to use it, I'm going to get this kill. Right. He goes in, gets the distance, he knows that, but already used the shockwave, he's good to go, gets in, gets out immediately.
Right camp right there, went to C9, left camp coming up in, I think, inside 10 seconds here, and you can see the rotations are coming out. We're down to a countdown of 3 seconds, but they're going to jump it in.
Shards of ice in the right lane, Gortak dropping low in her tower, ends up disengaging just barely.
That's a win. Force the ult out, take the mid camp. That's a big win in my book.
To the same point, though, the tower's taking a lot of damage in the meantime, and Zalia is pretty happy about this level of pressure.
That's true. But check it out, blue buff just gets taken as well. Second time stolen. Smek's going to walk to lane with pretty much infinite mana.
Yeah, it's so hard. You can see the difference in levels nonetheless. I mean, you can see level 9 here for Fun Balls. Smek at level 12. Look into the gold. You can see 4,400 for Fun Balls. And Smek is sitting at 5,400. A hugely detrimental difference. Almost 1,000 gold.
For the second time this game, Gortak has missed an entire wave of experience to the tower. A tower that's super low, and now Gold Fury's getting pressured. Stun coming out. It's super low. Coast steals the Gold Fury, but they might pay for it. Qin goes down. Still in favor of
hi-rez.
Oh, hi-rez.
Wow.
Oh, but Fun Balls! 2 down. This is a big deal, Drybear.
Sun Touch goes down. Fumble not done. You're looking for Murder here in the backside. Sprint. 1, 2, 3. Mesmerize. The Oxform. And there goes another kill. Coast clears out the Gold Fury area, both of Gold Fury and enemy players.
3-1. Wow. Taking a look at the graph, they were down by over close to 3,000 gold.
Tied.
And now it's 500 gold. They still have a major experience lead here, but that just brought them back into the game big time.
Certainly did. And it's also going to allow Gortag to receive some assistance. Now they have a little bit more map control. It's opened up a bit. Now people can come over and help Gortag before this tower goes down, because once Xaylia can start rotating, it's going to get ugly.
Oh, real quick. His rotations have always been super strong. He appears out of nowhere. And look at the damage the character does.
Amazing, that slow as well as the pass, and you're able to stack out that frostbite so powerful. And also, you know, he's got the ice wall. He's got utility.
That's true. I mean, it's freezes, there's walls, there's slows, there's incredible amounts of damage.
Both side, Disperse comes out. There's the so beautiful. Distance comes out. Smek looking for that kill into the tower. Stun's not going to land, but you know Smek's hungry.
This round again, by the way, Drybear, both mid camps did go to C9.
They're getting those so quickly, and honestly, 90 gold each is 180 gold total every single 2 minutes, and it's big.
I just love this constant pressure. We see the 72 transformations going to be pushed out there. Shockwave doing some damage, kind of deterring them a little bit, and Smek is close to half health, whereas Funballs is sitting a little bit above 75%. As we said, actually, we have a 4-man rotation driver. I think they're going to go for the steal.
They're looking for the blue buff, forced to disengage as Murder and Smek. They've got no one on the side of the map. Sun touches all the way across, but look at this mid-tower. Silent not wasting any time, looking for it. He might be able to get it, but here comes hi-rez with the blink. The ultimate is available if he wants to go over. Spirit Ball gets avoided. The silence does not, though. Circle protection on the ground. There goes the Fear No Evil. Silent trying to get out. He does have the pop for the heal. He's going to get it. Overhead smash comes through. Rotation from Sun Touch will force them to disengage. Razor Claws, does he go for the cats? No.
Oh, he ran out of mana. He was auto-attacking in place, trying to spam 4 left click, and it just didn't come out. He didn't quite recognize what was going on there. He did jump in and use Razor Claws, and she is a very mana-intensive god.
Very much so, and you know, you see a lot of Bastets end up kind of holding on to it or staying in the jungle as often as they can, leveraging that Bumba's MP5 so they can just keep that mana pool as big as they can. Mid-tower under pressure here from Coast. There goes a Shockwave to clear it out, though.
Right lane, Gortak just popped his beads, and Ymir had no intention of fighting. Shards of Ice wasn't activated. Glacial Strike on cooldown.
She does still have Cleanse if she needs it, but that's the only line of defense.
Strike.
That's right.
That has to be preemptive. Beats can be used in the moment. I think Gortak panicked a little bit there.
Absolutely, but he can remove the slow from Glacial Strike and the ultimate if he wants to get out of it, but it's going to be very, very close. You know, Xaylia, he's got his finger on that 4 button ready to pop it.
Speaking of the 4 button, Spoo forced it back here. Even with that Lightning Storm, he's a little bit worried about the, I guess, imminent gank coming out from the Bastet.
Absolutely.
She has been hanging around mid looking for that Lightning God to push one step out of position. You see her staring over the wall here, but Spoo just will not move forward.
They've got good vision in the forehand, but they honestly need to start pulling back their wards to a little more safer position. They're very aggressive considering the fact they lost the mid tower, their right tower. Good Spirit Ball coming out there, a little harassment. Bastet going to go for the there. Blink, Frost Breath, double hit, Glacial Strike, Zeus ultimate coming out as well. Murder to get some distance, but trying to knock him out of the fight. Q and blinks in anyways. There's circle protection coming out from the ice. It's Sile. 1, 2, 3. Wing Gust comes out there. Cataclysm slows them all down. Sun Touch wants it. There goes the hit. Sun Touch gets Q and looking for Gortak. Murder's decoy will go down. There goes the ultimate coming out. Hi-Rez jumps out just in time.
Detonate.
Wow.
Detonate was good. Took Murder on the back. There's Funballs, but the wall does not save him. That shot was so beautiful.
That was greedy. That was greedy by C9. The Coast responded. That was a 3-for-1 exchange in favor of Coast. Looking at the charts, there's still 2,300 gold in favor of C9, but that's also 2 towers down. So if there were no tower different, it'd be a 300 gold game.
But there's still a 3,700 experience difference. But check out
about
Coast.
To respawn as well.
That's right. But look at this. Mid lane, that's a tower right there. We didn't get a rotation coming out from Smek fast enough. And in a game that seemed very dominant in the beginning is suddenly 8-10. And Gold Furies respawn with their positioning right now. This is dangerous right now for C9.
It certainly is. hi-rez now rotating over to his Gold Fury. Will be responding shortly. Spoo hanging out in the area. Qin needs to get some vision up. He doesn't have any counter vision. He has 1 ward out. There's a single ward as well, but again, no counter wards. Murder coming down. Does he have a ward? Is it a sentry ward? Placing it forward. It might be too far away. No, he doesn't actually have anything available. There goes that one towards the blue buff. So for the time being, the Gold Fury will be available. Nope, he's got it. There's a sentry.
He dropped it right there, took it down. I think he was trying to bait to see if he had an opportunity to maybe move them forward, try to bait the Gold Fury by himself. It would have put them out of position, but it looks like for the 4th time, we're going to see C9 get both mid camps.
Left side, Smec going to hold it down on this one. See, he can defend his tower adamantly. In fact, his tower is quite low. Sitting at just about a quarter HP. Gab's going to find Murder there. Q and Murder going head-to-head. The slap fight of support that we all love seeing. That's so very interesting. Sio going to get the damage buff on the backside. He can pick that up for himself and increase his damage overall. But damn, Rod's done.
Already?
Already. He rushes it so
15
fast.
15 minutes?
15 minutes.
That's going to be 125 magical power. On top of the fact that he gets 20 from Vamp Shroud. On top of the fact that he's getting 50 from Shoes of the Magi and his penetration. And then add 25% magical power on top of that.
300 total, 297 is his total magic power right now.
Hit.
And of course, Circle Protection is going to be devastating if he stacks it all the way up.
Don't get hit.
He uses it to steal objectives. He likes putting it down in the raw done and using it as a way to secure the objectives, get the reduction in damage as well as the heal.
Yeah, and not to mention, you cannot step into that thing if you're an enemy. I mean, just that space control is unbelievable.
Right.
Even tanks have a hard time dealing with that kind of damage. Even Gebs with Stone Shield don't really want to mess with that kind of damage.
Well, it's also the fact that if he's by himself, it slows the gank on him down. You put it on top and kind of run around in circles inside of his own circle of protection. And here comes a gold for your start coming out from C9. Will it be for free? Rotating over, they don't see it. No vision. Cats are going to find Spoo. Ultimate coming out as well. The detonate is all he has. Murder goes down, but honestly, it was worth if no more kills happen.
So far, definitely worth. We get a blink coming out from Sio there. Actually, I think he was trying to blink and maybe pull the teleport farther. That would have been really cute.
If Sacred Monkey came out there, of course, for those of you who don't know, Sacred Monkey has to be primed ahead of time. Cataclysm coming out, not going to land too hard there. Purification beats first, Smack, and a jump over the wall. There goes a wall and an impale to add insult to injury.
In the back line.
As well.
In the back line, we see Foam Balls jumping in with the ultimate forced out. The Spear Ball almost spelled curtains, but Monkey's jumping in here. Hunbot's going for it, has put himself kind of out of position, but luckily, there's a Geb there.
There's a Geb. Don't worry, Geb. When in doubt, Geb out. We've got Spoo as well as Gortak pushing up the mid lane. Rotation from QN, just in case. I mean, honestly, he's not looking to do anything. He's supposed to make sure his teammates are safe.
You know, I feel like Geb is a warranty that you buy for a TV if you have a bunch of little kids running around your house. Like, they're out of position.
Yeah, sure. He's the bubble wrap.
He's the bubble wrap.
That's right.
He ensures that he can fix your situation.
And he does often. Well, not only that, but he can also just aggressively jump in. Pop the Cataclysm, the shockwave's there, and he's such a powerful god. And if you want to kill him, he's going to roll around.
Mid lane now, Sio, or rather Spoo, is going to get some free farm. C9 kind of out of things to do here. There's going to be a small camp. You see them warding, but they don't really have a lot of pressure in any lanes right now.
Wow.
They don't want to put themselves out of position.
Look at this. Sio going to go for Obsidian Shard as his third item. Damage, penetration. Sio says, hey, I want to kill some people.
I would build Void Stone. The only person really doing a ton of damage at this point is Spoo.
Right.
They have 3 magical damage dealers. I think, but Spoo's not the type to play safe. He doesn't like defense, and I respect that.
Initiation here on the Fire Giant area, kind of doing some poke. Murder's in the area. There's the Heavenly Agility. Just engaging a wall from Zalia. Talk to the hand. Wow.
That was like a toll booth going into New York. It's just painful.
It is very painful. A little bit disappointing as well. Spirit Ball. Suntoss coming in here. Razor Claws, the Cats are out. He's committing all the way. Frost Breath hits High Rock. Blink Strike's going to miss, and he's going to jump out way there. There's the 3 charge detonate on Suntouch. Will they get it? High Rock gets the kill. Another rotation coming out from Spoo. Do they have the distance? He's in the far backside. The wall again from Zalia zones them out.
We saw 2 max range Spirit Balls there from Suntouch, which is an incredible feat.
Ouch.
My brother Sio, excuse me.
Ouch. He's got 275 magic power with that damage buff, but they're going to go for the Fire Giant. C9, they know what's happened. They're going to come over it, but will it be in time? They've got some zoning here. Post has to be careful. This could be huge for either team. Slowing it down, charges on top. Does he have the recharge detonate? No detonate. They disengage entirely.
Are they
Good
letting
zoning.
this go?
Great zoning.
Oh my god, Smek and Hi-Rock boxing out here. Hi-Rock just looking for jukes. Qin rotates in and pushes Smek against the wall. Knockup's not going to be good as he did beats while in the air, and Gortuk's just going to look to steal the blue buff here, but he's completely doomed.
That was a beautiful play by Smek. He popped the sprint first to get the distance that he knocks up. He's traveling farther, and of course preemptively pops the beats to stop the CC chain. It works out. Issues come out. There's the blink Frost Breath. The wall to stop him from escaping. Now that hits Zalia against Spoo.
That is teamwork right there. CC after CC after CC to ensure that he had no options remaining. But I do want to point out what a brilliant mesmerized Funballs had there.
Yes.
He had to save for at least a second. He mezzed him out of Tiger form. could have hit either one of them, and he stopped him dead in his tracks.
That Mesmerize is honestly one of the most quiet abilities in the game. It's not really as powerful. There's the Blink. Cataclysm still, oh, he's just going to hang it out. He's not leashing the Fire Giant. Frost Breath, Glacial Strike, Impale comes through. Shards of Ice as well. Qin goes down. So greedy. Gore-Tex around as well. Looks like they're dropping quite low. The cast, the wall again!
My God, Xaylia!
Xaylia should play for Denial because that's all he's doing right now.
The blink over the wall, the freeze on...
the world?
Yeah. He likes it cold.
He does.
He's air conditioning.
Yep.
Over on the right side here, we're going to see a little bit more of a boxing match as Funball's going to attempt to put some pressure on, at least long enough for hi-rez to rotate in. But is this a too little, too late situation as Murder goes up on the Cloud to heal up? He's back down. It's almost in kill range here. It's going to go to Cloud9.
Again, a wonderful wall here from C9, blocking them all out. And, you know, you look at the characters that Xaylia plays, right? You see Bakasura, you see Ra, you see Vamana, and you're thinking, you know, they don't always have that amount of contribution in the way of support, but when he plays Amir, he not only is he doing damage, he's making plays, but he's stopping the enemy time and time again. You know, if someone's trying to escape, just close the door.
Speaking of doors being closed, one's about to open here at the Gold Fury, and it doesn't look like Cloud9 is really ready to contest this as Coast is kind of grouped up, but I think they're too afraid to go for it.
Very much so, and that Fire Giant delay was so much. They kept fighting it, leashing it, fighting it, leashing it over and over again. Finally, it does end up going to C9, and now they realize, you know, for the next few minutes, we have to be very careful. We have to be very specific with what we're doing. We do not want to fight C9 in open field right now. Now, granted, the gold difference is only 2,500, but that Fire Giant adds almost a full item of effectiveness with the extra damage and regeneration you're getting. And now, you look at Sayo right now, he's got that Obsidian Shard done. He's got the Rod, he's got the pen from the boots, and now he's going to be hitting really, really hard with those max range Spirit Balls. We can see him hit time and time again.
Taking some damage, cats are out, full body block, and Gortak goes down instantaneously. I was kind of worried for Suntouch there, honestly. I really thought he was going to put himself too far out of position, but those cats and that Fire Giant buff spelled just curtains for hell.
This is the Suntouch we wanted to see yesterday. He's coming out strong and just showing his stuff, and really he's been all over the place. And you know, he's kind of been showing himself as a great balance between high aggression and ganking, but also falling back and farming. He's been back and forth, map presence, but he's been exuding here for this match. It's been working so well because he's controlling every single player on Coast so far. Left tower's going to go down. Left tier 2 tower is now under pressure. They're looking for it.
All right, so the second tier is going to be not defended. It looks like they're going to try to defend at the Phoenix as Sacred Monkey is used their Murder, just kind of hanging out. There's the Ninetales. There's the Razor Claws. I don't think that's even going to damage him.
Looking for it, Snex, and shots coming out. There's the Impale, slow it down. Xaylia, Frost Breath not going to land. Coast is looking for something. Cataclysm starts it off. Fear no evil, falling up there. Xaylia looking for the Frost Breath, doesn't have it up just yet. hi-rez going forward, looking for Sayo. Sayo backpedaling with that Wing Gust now. And we're going to see Qin looking for Murder's decoy. Can he get the decoy? The decoy might be going down. Decoy! Decoy, let it go!
Funball just trying to escape. He dove into the back line looking for a pickup there, and he's going to get blocked, but the Mesmerize will, he's the turnaround. Man. Check out the damage coming out from Funball.
Unfortunately enough, Funball's purification beads were only tier 1 there, so it didn't last long enough to remove. He's trying to pop it to get out of the shifting sand slow to get close enough to finish him off, but it just didn't last long enough. He got slowed again and forced to escape, but look, where is he going?
I don't know why they're chasing him or why they're not going for the tier 2 here. Oh, Funball's got damage here.
Suntouch is canceling the back.
Are they not talking to each other? That could have been a kill there.
You know, maybe they just don't think he's going to do anything.
Maybe they're thinking he can actually turn it around. I mean, Funball right now, I mean, take a look at that build. Level 19, highest on his team. He just finished up Aussie. He has the Heartseeker. Rage is done.
He had no ultimate, though, and they knew that.
That's a good point.
So he had no escape. He was so far into the... And they have vision of the Gold Fury, and down by the movement speed buff and blue buff, they know who was going to be over there. That was an opportunity for them, but maybe it just wasn't on their mind at the time. They weren't communicating, maybe just thinking, you know, we've got this, or we weren't expecting it.
Watch this.
He's done this so many times this weekend. Yesterday we saw him steal mid-camps over the wall casually.
Yeah, right. I really thought he had him, and that was... Sayo is just an amazing player sometimes.
He really is. He's so smart the way he's so excited about this game. He likes all the little interesting aspects, the combinations of gods, the rotations from jungles, and he just understands how things work so well. He's able to just get the best out of it. Is he going for a Polynomicon after full penetration? Does he just want to kill everything?
We've seen him get this deep in a build before, maybe week 2, week 3 of the path to 100K, as we called it, and he was just 1v3ing people with that amount of damage.
Well, Spirit Ball, Polynomicon, max range, you can kill a mage almost in one single shot. Isis, one of the, actually, surprisingly enough, people don't really give Isis the credit she deserves. She's one of the most damaging mages you can see late game.
That's true, especially with Poly, those swings, auto attack cancels into Wing Gust. She can 2-3 shot people very quickly, and that's not even including the Wing Gust damage that can apply AoE, and a massive AoE.
We've seen Sayo be dived by great players from other teams time and time again, but also gets away with that high movement speed from Wing Gust and the stun from the Spirit Ball. Such a great player, but we're not giving enough credit here to Coast. Funballs, he's been playing so well. 12.5k gold. He's actually beating Murder and tying Zalia.
They're just auto-attacking near it. Actually, Smek has started it. It looks like they're just going to do it. They were trying to bait it at first, but it's taken some damage. Apollo's on the wrong side of the map trying to split push here, and he will find himself a tower.
Looking forward. He's going to get the tower, but at what cost? hi-rez out of position, forced to use that blink there. Of course, it's not that long of a cooldown. Greater blink will end up having a 45-second cooldown, but he had to get out of there. He did not want to get caught. The Fire Giant still available, and looks like they're not going to do anything with it. Funballs has gotten a free tower and pulled them off the Fire Giant. Yeah,
that's a pretty big deal, and there comes across the sky. We hear the pings coming out. It looks like Ghost is going to go for it, and not many people are ready to defend.
He pulled them across the map. 3 players for C9 are making their way back over to the Fire Giant. They're trying to do enough damage to clear this out. Murder is here. Spirit Ball coming out there from Sayo. Trying to something out. Oh, Fear No Evil is available as well. Sun Touch, there's the burst. You win on the backside. The cats come out. hi-rez clears out quite quickly. There's a Heavenly Agility as well. Sprint.
Beautiful play keeping it alive.
They're looking for it. Can they steal it away? Sayo needs the damage.
They're keeping it alive.
They don't have an ultimate there. There goes the kill on Funball. Funball goes down. The Fire Giant goes to C9.
Cloud9 kept it alive. And look at this. Left side, Phoenix comes up with super low health. No tier 2 tower on the right side. They kept their Phoenix alive on the left side. Cloud9 has a perfect spot right now.
What an oversight from hi-rez here. hi-rez trying to go away the Jingle Bang as he lands. Now we know who the best monkey is.
I respect the push, though. He needed to make something happen here.
Right.
Cloud9 has too big of an advantage right now.
Right.
They need to take risks. Because if they don't, they're just going to, it's going to be the same situation we saw last time. They're going to have to sit at the Phoenix, and they're going to lose objectives.
Well, if you're available, Sun Touch going over here to clear it out. And speaking of objectives, they're going to lose this. So he can use it if he wants to. No cats available just yet, but Smek is here for the damage. And Sun Touch, quite tanky actually. Did end up going for Hide of the Urchin. Gives him a decent amount of HP and mana. Of course, physical protection for that Gold Fury. No rotation from Coast. And, Coast, you have to imagine they're not happy with how that went. They started the Fire Giant. It was honestly one of the most textbook plays you can make. But have Apollo pull people across the map. He can fly, they can't. Bring him over, look for the Fire Giant. They just didn't have the damage.
That's, I guess, the detriment of being behind is that at this point they're almost 10k behind. Actually, 10k experience almost right on the dot as they take another tier 2. All Phoenixes are up on both teams, but it should be noted that the left side Phoenix on Order side is heavily debuffed.
Oh, definitely. And they're really careful about how they're going to do these things. The Phoenixes are being pulled up, and, still 2 towers remaining for C9. The tier 2 on the right side and the middle lane are still there. That's 3,000 gold if they want to get it, but they just don't have the control of the map. Look at the vision. Now, I like the fact that Coast is trying to ward the Fire Giant as much as they can, get the control over there, but they have no vision left side of the map. There goes the first ward in place of the second one as well. QN trying to clear that, to remedy that situation, I guess, but, the next big fight could determine this game.
Honestly, at this point, Coast needs to rush. It's what they have to do. They have to group up together. They have to find a pick, and given the fact that Sun Touch just went back, they can see Sayo in the mid lane right now. Going back, they should really be pushing down a lane together, looking for an opportunity and taking it down, because if they look for that 5v5 team fight, it's not going to work out well for them.
Spoo in the jungle area, and you're exactly right. You can't play on C9's terms here if you're Coast. You can't let them do what they want to initiate. You have to be the one looking for the kills, and you got to know that at this point, C9 is kind of laying back a bit. They're being more lax, looking for the buffs, seeing the steals. Sun Touch looking for the follow-up. Ninetales gets the slow. There's a Stone Shield Shockwave, but Sun Touch, he's not looking for kills. He just wants to put him in the corner.
That's true. And look at this. The speed buff is down. It looks like it was taken by Coast, but they can't get anywhere near it right now.
That's right. Now, it's not going to go to someone like Bastet, who can, get close, use the movement speed or attack speed to do more damage. Bastet does actually do quite a lot of basic attack damage, and the movement speed, attack speed would help a lot. But, they're not really too worried about that. They want a Phoenix here, and they're just kind of zoning out, spreading themselves thin between the left and middle lane, making sure that Coast does exactly the same thing. Check
out SunTouch on the side here. He's going to be walking in casually. There's the jump to the back line. Cats are going to go out directly onto Gortak. Ninetales, he's going to get into the fountain just barely, as the Cats will be taken down, but the Phoenix is taken on 2 lanes as Funball's trying to make something happen, but the only thing that's happening is a trip back to the fountain.
Showers of ice from Zaylee. The Q1 trying to follow up on Zaylee here, but he has no damage and no one around Frostbreath. Impale, Ninetales, there's the knockup. Q1 goes down, killing spree for Smek, looking for the kill on Smek, but he's still alive.
They're going to lose 4.
Bloodforge, man. Bloodforge.
They're going to lose 4. Only Hell remains. She does have some decent AoE damage here, but I don't know if she's going to be able to deter Cloud9 HyperX, who's primed to take game 1 of lower bracket round 1.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up in the crowd and at home if you're a Cloud9 fan. But wow, what an amazing first game that we had. It was a little bit close in the beginning. We know C9 got first blood and second blood, of course. In the solo lane, Zaylee had complete control with it. He was looking and thinking, you know what? I've got Hell. I'm a mirror. I can take control of this. The first tower to go down was solo lane. A lot to happen in this match, but we're going to shoot it over to the analysts to see what they think. Trend kill.
Thanks, guys. What a game. Welcome back to the analyst desk. I'm still sitting here with hi-rez Bart, Lionheart, and DJ Pernicus. And what do you guys think about that game? That was,
I mean, I thought that game, it was really interesting to watch how Coast kind of handled Cloud9's control of those team fights a couple times. Surging back, looked like they had an angle, but unfortunately falling a little bit short.
Yeah, and control's the right word, Bart. I mean, I just want to go back. I talked about Zaylee before, and I'll talk about it again. But you notice they put that Ymir pick really good into their team composition. So a lot of times you're seeing the wall come up to zone out team fights, pick and choose when we want to engage. And that was kind of the success story, I think, for Cloud9 in their engagements with Coast, was using their zone out potential very well.
Yeah, and I think I was very critical of SunTouch's jungling yesterday. He got off to a rough start, but today he played a lot better in this game. You see, he didn't have to play from behind. In fact, he played from ahead. It looked like he chose to, instead of doing a 2 versus 2 in the solo lane as we're accustomed to seeing in the first 4 levels, he decided to choose an alternate jungling route and just kind of do his own thing and go and even get a gank before the first set of mid-harpies, which put him very far ahead.
Looks like we're going to take a look here at the Logitech first blood. Ladies and gentlemen, the rotation from SunTouch is good, getting in there. They find the Geb. I mean, a pretty easy gank. We were talking about it here, that call should have come out.
It should have, and you saw actually there was a rotation all the way from the solo lane. He tried to put pressure onto the mid, and it was even a late call into mid lane, but eventually you actually saw Zeus back out of mid, and so there was no gank there. Moved into mid, showed himself SunTouch, and then moved over to the duel, and it looked like they were getting the call. They backed off initially, and then when they didn't see him, they thought, okay, maybe he's just going back to clear the jungle, and it set up that perfect gank because, Geb had taken so much harass already from being forward in previous engagements otherwise.
Absolutely, and I think it's important to note that if he were, in fact, to fail the gank there, he would most likely have been level 3 at the mid-harpies. So I think that what the other team needed to do in that situation was call it out, like we said, and continue farming and make that risky gank play be inefficient in terms of farm, and then take a fight at mid-harpies.
Yeah, Pern, I want to go back to you because we saw a Bastet pick yesterday that didn't seem to work out.
Right.
Today, he did very well. So what was the difference?
I think the biggest difference is when we saw Wolfie play Hell so successfully yesterday, he got a Heavenly's agility just completely outright at level 1. And what that did was eliminate Bastet from being able to gank at all, really, because you'd no longer be able to be slowed. Today, we saw a rank 1 sprint bot at level 1. And a rank 1 sprint, as we know, was recently nerfed to not remove the slow effect. And basically, it was almost as if he had no actions whatsoever.
So here you can see the comparison on the screen of the 2 jungle players on both teams, HiRock and SunTouch. And you take a look at the win-loss percentage there. SunTouch sitting at 76% win-loss. GPM's actually pretty comparable, but both of these players are, as we were saying, very experienced. They've been around the scene a long time. SunTouch, a little bit more mobile in the roles that he's played, but Bastet worked out very good today. And one of the things, when you go look at that picks and bans, you're also going to see is that there were 2 great targets for catcall for Suntouch. That was Zeus in the mid lane, and Hell again with the way she purchased over in the solo. So 2 people you can jump in on, drop catcall, and not have to worry about a leap, a dash, or a jump away. You know you're going to get that extra damage, and that was really kind of what fit in for the early game plays.
Yeah, I think another thing to look at from that statistic we just had up is that looking at hi-rez, his kill-death ratio, 107 and 107. Looking at Suntouch, you had about a 90 to 80 split. So you see that hi-rez plays more aggressive, generally assassin-style junglers, and tends to be that Hunbots type, where he's going to go in and try to initiate a team fight and really get in the middle of it and plays things that are maybe a bit more risky, I think, than what you normally see out of the jungle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we've already talked about it a little bit, but Lionheart, I want to talk about Azalea. I know you're a big fan. Yeah. You've thrown up the X multiple times the last couple days. And let's hear about that Ymir pick in the solo lane.
Yeah, the Ymir pick is a very aggressive pick and solo. So Ymir's kind of, I think, right now undervalued. A lot of times you'll see him in the jungle. Very rarely will you see him in the solo. But there's this aggressive capability early on to be able to freeze, take advantage of the passive so that these in-hand attacks deal a whole bunch of extra damage. And Hell is particularly special because you're able to set up the wall, which will bait out the cleanse. And the cleanse doesn't last very long in the early game. Right. So once the cleanse is over, you can hit the freeze, you can drop down glacial spikes. So the freeze will stun you, the glacial spikes will slow you, and then he gets those free enhanced attacks. It's very, very aggressive. And again, the wall can also be used to set up the ultimate, which we saw a lot of kills secured that way. So it's a powerful lane, and it's a lane that if it gets ahead, will continue to put pressure on Hell and continue to keep her out of the way. She doesn't really get the advantage in that lane until the mid game, where she's clearing very quickly, and he doesn't have the capability to burst her down. We saw that once. When she's able to get off the heel, the full combo is not enough.
Right, and we saw, I thought, Cloud9 kind of winning the early game. And then we saw Coast come back in the mid game. What do you think? Why was it not enough for them to come back? Was it objectives? I mean, what was the cause that they couldn't actually make that comeback?
Well, I think that a lot of it was Coast was able to take some of those early team fights based on really, really timely rotations from Funball. I think a lot of that was the team that they drafted. It seems to be a popular comp, especially in this tournament for European teams. The Hunbots and Zeus picks coming together, those big AoE ultimates. And they use those really to zone and break the team fight up. A couple times, though, we saw that fall flat, but when it worked and they got the Apollo rotation in, they could find people out of position in those fights.
I think there's also something that goes back to kind of the way we were talking about how First Blood went down and communication. So Team Coast is not here with their normal roster. There were some challenges for them in coming to participate in the Smite launch tournament, so the roster's a little different than what they've played with through the path on the way here. And so one of the things to consider is the communication looks like it's a little rough around the edges. We had rough communication in terms of First Blood and the rotations, and it also looked like there was rough communication around some of the objectives. So take the Fire Giant, for example, at 27 minutes. They started it, and then the aggro was picked up by Cloud9 hi-rez, but nobody seemed to call that. And so you have Zaley in the front line with all of Team Coast's attention, and he gets a kill, and then they kill him, and all the while, Fire Giant's just being taken right from under their nose, and nobody's talking about it.
Right.
I think something to point out here as well, kind of to your point there, is that Gortok is a player that they've picked up, and Gortok's been in and out of the scene over the last 6 months, and I think that in a big way here, he just wasn't really comfortable with that Ymir matchup, similar to the Bakasura we see Zalea play. If you fight and you extend too far forward, which Hell is very likely to do given her skill set, he can really punish it. We saw that with some solo kills early in the game.
Yeah, I think Hell's strength is obviously here clear, but in order to clear, she needs to use her 3, right? Which she has to approach the creeps, get very close, and hit all 6 of them. Unfortunately, when you're against the Ymir, it's not so easy because we know he has that massive freeze, which now deals a substantial amount of damage. The in-hand attacks that you were talking about earlier, it's almost as if you have double damage on each additional strike. And the Glacier Spikes, which do an immense amount of damage just base. So it was very hard for him to make a presence in the lane, to kill any creeps whatsoever because there was a constant threat of being frozen, 2'd, which is the Glacier Spikes, and ultimately ulted.
Right. So real quick, guys, we're getting ready to go back to game 2. Any predictions?
I think I like Coast in this one. I like Coast coming back, drafting a safer team. I think maybe playing with a little bit more cohesiveness. Get those calls, get everything tightened up. I think they got a good chance to win this one.
I'm going to stick with Cloud9 hi-rez. I think that they performed extremely well. And again, I think the communication between Team Coast is going to continue to be a challenge for them. I hope they can overcome it because I want to see a game 3, but Cloud9 hi-rez looks really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Suntouch is much more on point today, and I think he's going to have another dominating performance here. And I think he's going to get an early gank and snowball the game to victory for Cloud9.
All right, guys, well, we're getting ready to start game 2 between Cloud9 hi-rez and Coast. We're going to sit it back down to the casters.
Welcome back, everybody. We're getting ready to head into Game 2 here. Coast Blue versus Cloud9 hi-rez. What are you expecting?
Oh, man, after that game, Cloud9 seemed pretty dominant, but we did see a similar thing happen yesterday where Snipe was dominant in Game 1, and we saw Cloud9 answer back. Coast definitely still in this. They have to win the next 2 games straight. We're going to jump right into it.
Let's hop into the picks and bans. You can see the stats on screen. There goes the bans. Now, the first ban coming out here is going to be Cloud9, who's going to be first pick, first ban afterwards. Looks like Coast gave this one up after their first loss, surprisingly enough. I guess they wanted to be second pick, but Ra banned out.
Now, having first pick on Cloud9 ensures that they can't safely pick Bakasura, and hi-rez and Spoo and Gortak have again opted to get rid of Chuck.
Strange, very strange. Now, hi-rez had Hoombots last game, which was, it was there. The ultimates were strong, but it didn't seem to hit home as his Chalk does.
Right. Nemesis ban. How strange and unusual.
I'm surprised.
Can you believe that there were people that thought she wasn't that good when she first came out? She has been nerfed 4 times?
3.
3 times?
3 times.
She's been nerfed a lot.
A lot.
She took big hits.
And the big one, each nerf was pretty huge.
I mean, Slice and Dice went from a 7-second cooldown up to 10 seconds. That's what hit her the most. And still, it made it through. That forces Zeus. They cannot let Zeus go here.
This is not good. This is not good. Now, Odin, first pick here, is going to go to Murder. We've seen him play it before. He's so powerful with that character. The ultimate, the slow, the passive.
Well, Mr. Zeus, the god of gods, must be pick here. For those of you at home who might not know, the Odin-Zeus combination of Ring of Spears perfectly fits the Lightning Storm. If you don't have a jump or a combat blink or some way to deter the damage from detonate, you die.
That's right. Trapped inside. Storm comes down, the lightning strikes, build up, and the detonate keeps you in place as well. You got nowhere to go. And of course, you have Odin right next to you. Gunner's Might slows you again. You're trapped there. And anyone that can shoot over, you got Poseidon, Ra, like literally anyone. There's a lot of characters that go over. Desert Fury from on her can also go over the spears. He's on inside. You can jump in and out. There's Niche. You can shoot the ultimate. I mean, so many opportunities here.
I like the Neath pickup here. We saw her banned a lot yesterday, picked a lot yesterday. She was doing very, very well.
Right.
Actually, I think this is going to be the first time that we don't see Murder.
Oh, baby.
Zaylee's playing the baby.
He said he wouldn't. He's going to do it.
Zaylee's playing the baby.
Now,
it's good against Zeus.
That's right. So that's the biggest thing. He wants slow mages that don't really go anywhere, and that's Zeus.
Wukong, that means Geb's not going to be picked up, but that also means that for the first game in tournament here, we will have Murder not playing Sun Wukong.
That's very strange. But then again, if Odin makes it, you got to play Odin.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt.
Absolutely.
The whole idea is that Odin doesn't make it, so you play Sun Wukong. It's all good. But if Odin makes it, you got to pick him up. Honor hovered on here for Spoo. hi-rez covered on Emir. They're going to grab Emir this time around. Maybe they were happy with how it worked for C9 last game.
I mean, and this is a very ambiguous lineup. It could be Ymir support, Ymir solo, Ymir jungle. It could be some Wukong support, some Wukong solo, and some Wukong jungle. It can work. You shouldn't.
Now, the question is...
Ooh, Athena gets picked up. Is this Athena jungle, or is it Odin jungle?
No. It's got to be Athena. It's got to be... I like that. Especially going into last pick here. Zaylee, always the person who wants to pick last. Looking like it's going to be a possibility for Isis.
Yes.
No surprise. I mean, Sayo plays Isis so well.
Run it back.
Last game, the damage, that's it.
Just run it back. It worked perfectly. Don't fix what's not broken. There's no reason to. Last pick again is going to go to Gortak. He picked Hell last game, but he is a solo laner, has a very large pool of gods. What are we going to see?
We see something strange here, waiting for the last pick to come up. Aphrodite.
He likes his healers today.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Aphrodite, Emir. So lock it in. No! Oh! It's Scylla.
I love Scylla.
So you've got on her Zeus, Emir, and Scylla on the same team.
Okay, so if Scylla goes mid, it's not a bad matchup in either direction. Either one can burst the other one down instantly. But I would not put Scylla against that baby. We saw that happen yesterday with NQ, and it did not pan out well.
Scylla has, I mean, the only time you'll ever see Scylla picked is in this last slot.
Right.
She has so many bad matchups that she just cannot be picked early. You're going to count it out. I mean, more than half the games, more than half the gods in the game destroy Scylla in a lane matchup here. So,
have you noticed a severe lack of Agni?
Pretty much just Dig. The best loves Agni. It even banned it in one of their games.
Nick played him once as well.
That's true.
But, like, this is a character we saw picked and banned like every single game.
It may be involved with the fact that the Rainfire is delayed as well, so that guaranteed stun from above Rainfire and Noxious Fumes is not as easy as it was. We've seen great players, even Lobster
we're on land.
was missing though. Even then, it's mechanically not latency. I mean, it's this delay for the abilities itself. It looks like they're not going to favor, and everyone's kind of trying new things as well. But we're going to hop into the game to see who can win this up. Give it up in the audience as well as in home. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Game 2! Coast versus Cloud9!
Let's talk about the players here. Drybear, why don't you go ahead and talk to us a little bit about the bottom side of the minimap?
The bottom side of the minimap, we got Cloud9, hi-rez, Sile. As you can see on screen, this is a third-person MOBA. Smite brings in that extra element with that third dimension there. Sile playing Isis this time around. Murder running through the jungle here on Odin. We also have Suntouch playing Athena in the jungle. Murder on Odin. Smek is playing Neath.
They're going to be going up against Team Coast Blue, fighting for their tournament lives right now. If they lose this game, they're going to be out, which means you know they're coming in strong. We're going to check in with hi-rez. Looks like he's going to be playing Ymir, and I don't see a Bumba's Mask. Gortok going solo with Miss Scylla. You know how I love Scylla. Spoo going to go mid again. It looks like he's going to have himself Zeus, the god of gods, and then Fumble and Qin again are going to group up together. We're going to see an On Her Sun Wukong lane.
You know, we do also have Sio going for that Lost Artifact start yet again, rushing that rod. He got a second item. He finished his boots and said, what do I need after shoes? I need a big rod that blows everyone up. Let's pick that up. And he gets it right after. It's such an expensive item, but the passive it provides is so very valuable. So he's looking to rush it yet again, possibly. We'll see how he goes down that road. Of course, Xaylia is going to go down the road of Hand of the Gods 1. Now, it's important to look at this because Hand of the Gods 1 and Hand of the Gods 2 are very different in their implementation for the laning phase. We have the Heartseeker start from Smek as well as a bit delayed there for Funball. He's going to get Death Toll right away.
So, before I played Smite, I was a big player in World of Warcraft, which is min-max. Always min. Yeah, I know. A lot of min-max. And when I watch players like Sio, when they pull the jungle camp, when the third hit of their auto attacks right at 9.5 seconds to ensure it does the most amount of damage on the exact frame that they spawn, I get a little giggly inside.
It's the elitist part of him right there. He's going to be min-maxing everything that you can possibly do. Right lane, we're going to see Gortak going up against Baby. This is the matchup we didn't want to see, but we're going to see it here. Now, again, it is Gortak. We know he's very strong and also incredibly tall.
Yeah, he is a giant.
He's 6'6".
He scares me.
6'6",
I'm little.
over his computer screen. Now mid lane, we've got Sile going up against Spoo. He's going to get a 2-charge detonate here. Actually, pretty efficient damage output. You never really want to detonate one charge. Looks like a harassment right lane. Look for some follow-up here. hi-rez wants to pick something up, but not going to find it.
Murder actually taking some damage. Disperse, but impales on cooldown on the left side. Then Spirit Arrow is going to find some damage, but they cannot counter-initiate at level 2 with those minions barreling down.
Smek looking for some harassment here on Funballs, but it looks like Coast has the advantage on the left side of the map, like you were mentioning. I mean, the long lane is so very important. If they can get an advantage early, the support can then start rotating, put pressure on the mid, get the mid camps to control that side of the map.
Xaylia actually going to get crippled there as he continues to try to push the wave. Gortok really not having too much trouble, though it should note that he hit level 4 a little bit later, so didn't have quite the damage that Xaylia did throughout that entire engagement. Though Xaylia does have much less health at this point and can be pressured a little bit more. I'm actually surprised to see Xaylia's Baby turned on his heels like this.
Yeah, it's kind of rare, and Gortok is playing very, very careful. There's the Crush stacking up the wave, see if it gets a follow-up. And Crush is an ability that's a little bit interesting when you first start playing Scylla for the first time. You're thinking, okay, if I pop it early, is it less damage? How does it work? There's a slow on the ground, and you see him kind of using that slow to stack up the wave, using the Crush to clear it out completely, and then after that, he decides that if he gets some harassment, he will.
Both mid-camps going to go down there. One to C9, one to Team Coast Blue. Not really too much in terms of leads so far. It's been kind of jumping up and down, though slightly in favor of C9. Experience, same thing, about 300 ahead, but I mean, that's a quarter of a creep wave at this point. It's really inconsequential.
Yeah, 280 gold in favor of C9 right now. It's 700 experience now as it goes even lower. So they're able to control this completely. But as we go forward, we're looking for those mid camps. We're not going to be up for just about a minute and 15 seconds or so. That's coming pretty soon. And we're looking at the solo lane. We know that Xaylia has the opportunity to take down a lot of kills. Mid lane, Isis goes down. Sio surrounded. hi-rez making Ymir work.
You know, this is the power of jungle and mirror. You get in there, you have a freeze, you have a slow, and if they don't have sprint or beads, well, actually level 3 sprint now as the slow immunity was removed from the early ranks, it's going to be hard. Not to mention Zeus. Damage.
Very scary. Smack does have the ultimate, though, so they want to defend it. They certainly have World Weaver available. Right now, we're kind of waiting to see if that works out, but he's just farming the best he can. Left side fun balls. He's going to be sitting at a very respectable 2,600 gold. Smack at 26 himself. Murder looking for the follow-up, of course, without the ultimate.
Did he just get deterred by that pillar?
It's a scary pillar.
Oh, my Lord, the placement. But now Funballs is going to have to run back here. It should be noted that at this point, Smek has done a little bit more duo experience than Funballs, though we see Smek with that very early Heartseeker, ensuring that he's going to have more damage.
More damage is exactly what he wants. Heartseeker delayed for Funball, but completed for Smek. There, a big difference. Doesn't impale on Murder, throwing him into the wall. And he just walks it off. He's a good sport about it. The jungle buffs here are going to be responding quite shortly, as well as the mid camps. Grouping up for the left mid camp is going to be Coast here as Sile looking for his patented Spirit Ball steal away. Blocks them out of it. Is going to be Murder. Needs to jump away from the ult, but does it a little bit late there. On top, Surge Rush coming out from Isis. hi-rez drops down for the wing ghost. Looking for Q-Win. Sundutch goes. There's the dog. Desert Fury looking for the kill on Sundutch. Can he get away in time? Up in the air is Q-Win looking for the dunk. Gonna hit it. Jingle bang. Jingle bang. Jingle bang.
He's got him. They're still chasing. Sayo has very low health at this point, and with Smek poking from the background, they got kind of split up and deterred, but Funball seems kind of adamant about this kill as he dives and takes a tower shot, looking for a rather unconventional impale.
You know, you can't blame him. You can't blame him. 100%. You know exactly what's going on there. And he decides that, you know, there's no follow-up for me. I'm going to be okay if I do this. He looks for the impale, tries to bait out the dodge, but couldn't really get it. Right side, we're going to see Zalia taking some harassment from Vortex. You know, going into this, I'm surprised.
He took more than that. As you can see, Scylla does not have a blue buff, and that blue buff is down.
That's right. Completely stolen away.
Took some damage, too. Jeez.
Making her go on home there. And, you know, she is a monster, but so is Zalia.
I love Scylla. She's so fun.
Heartseeker completed for Smek. There's Funball just now finishing his Heartseeker. A little bit late, honestly. About 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes later than Smek did. So Smek pretty close, if not already maxed out on the Heartseeker completely. So the damage difference between the two, if we check this out here, Neith is currently sitting at 48 physical damage versus Funballs, who's at 40. So an 8 physical damage difference.
I'm looking at the gold here because I'm really impressed that Coast has shown up to this match. They're not demoralized. They're rotating well, and honestly, that's part of the team chemistry that Spoo and hi-rez have. They've been teammates for quite literally years,
right, in
a game that has been out for all that long. So it's really impressive to see them being able to come back from a loss the way they just have. But left side, Desert Fury, I didn't think they were going to die for that dry bear, but they took it. Funballs finds a kill.
Murder here, looking for the kill, not gonna find it, no chance. But here comes the ultimate, the touch! Sun Touch coming out strong, and Murder, he knew something we didn't.
That is teamwork. He's like, just lock him in, make him jump, force the jump, lunge after, defender of Olympus. Check it out, Sayo's in trouble again, nowhere to go. hi-rez and Spoo once again find a kill. Cloud9 not showing up to this match the same way they did last time.
You know, Emir is here, and that's exactly what he wanted to show. 2C9 looking for Murder, jumping up the blink, predict, finding the Frost Breath is wasted there. There's the wall, Glacial Strike gets the slow taunt from Sundutch, now surrounded, 3 charges, not just yet, just getting 2 there. Good slow for Murder, this might be enough to slow it down, indeed it will. Q-Win getting out of dodge. Does she have an ultimate? No World Weaver for Smek, no follow-up.
Yeah, she used it in the beginning of that engagement there. Oh, but that hi-rez, rare footage of hi-rez misses his freeze.
You know, I don't know what was happening there. Slow right side, Gortak in trouble. There's the hit.
Don't want to fight the baby.
You don't.
You don't fight the bug, you don't fight the baby.
She is a baby herself, but she's a little bit.
She's not a baby. Stop.
Children. This is the child lane.
The child lane. It's the kiddie corner.
Need some Gap bubble wrap to protect it. Odin in the jungle here, Murder looking for opportunity to clear this out. Now, he can ward a little bit more effectively than most supports can with, of course, his passive Birds of Wisdom, getting more mini-map vision around himself, and knowing that if he's safe to go over walls, rotate around the mid-camps, and look for the Gold Fury, he's going to put a ward down here in front of the Gold Fury, one on the right side already going to find hi-rez doing exactly the same thing, but it seems like Emir is making a big presence both this game and last game.
All right, so we're going to be moving forward here into the middle lane. Check it out again. Defender of Olympus coupled with that ring of spears. hi-rez low and hi-rez down.
There goes the kill. There's Spoo in the mid lane, defending the best that he can. But, looks like we have a little bit of low. Let's give an update on the other lower bracket start here. Denial has lost to SK Gaming. SK will be moving on in Denial. They're knocked out.
I think they're the first of the North American teams to be eliminated from the tournament.
That's right. I think a lot of fans in the crowd as well are pretty excited about the fact that their team is winning, but there are a lot of Denial fans out there. Give a quick shout for your team. They have been eliminated from this tournament, and SK will be moving forward.
Looks like on the left side, mid-camp's going to respawn inside of 5 seconds. Qin and Spoo are there to make sure that this one's going to go to Team Coast. Although we can see the spear ball. Almost got this steal there, not quite.
Very, very close, and he wants it. Like, literally every time he thinks they're doing a buff or a mid-camp, he goes for the steal. Because the Spirit Ball has so much distance. Oh, right lane. Zaylia might be in trouble. hi-rez looking for the blink, but not going to go for it just yet. Left lane, though, Smack gets a great Spirit Arrow right as the cat. Do we call it a cat? It's like a wah, 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 wah.
Wait, we got a World Weaver getting charged here. She's going to shoot it over towards the right side. Gortok is going to use Sentinel, and actually I'm a monster. Destruction comes through, but it doesn't do damage to the baby. Not in that form, but Spoo's going to try to make something happen. The detonate's ready. The detonate's good. The chase in the background. Gortok stays alive and shouldn't really be pressured here as he goes back. And now Sayo's looking for something but the blade.
Oh, there goes the kill. Sun touching the backside. hi-rez. He's got the shards of ice, but man, Spoo reacted so well there. It blinks away and, of course, gets the distance on top. I mean, he avoids the Spirit Ball by sidestepping, following up with a blink, keeps himself safe for the time being. Mid lane, we're going to see Funballs actually try to take out this mid tower as we see Murder rotating to defend it. But looking at the graph, we're going to have to see a very even game, 200 gold in favor of Coast. So close, but they had the experience advantage.
Smek now has been getting some pretty decent solo farm, but Funballs in the mid lane just doesn't care as you see him push it down. Oh, right side. Did Sayo just get caught again?
He was surrounded there. hi-rez going deep. Gortak and Q in there as well. Had nowhere to go and no ultimate available. Wingust was on cooldown. Purification beads were gone, but at the same time, Sayo.
Oh, wait. Mid lane, Funballs, lazy back. Gonna get caught by Suntouch, but he will get the jump over the wall, and no one from C9 is able to follow that up. He almost got caught.
Very, very close. You gotta be careful. I mean, who lazy backs in the tournament?
See, that's a PSA, kids. Do not try that anywhere.
Friends don't let friends. Teammates don't let teammates lazy back.
Skip leg day. Wait, what are we talking about? Oh, look at the tower damage. Left side. Smek's going for it.
Suntouch also getting the mid camps here along with Murder. Oh, Smack backflip just in time. A beautiful timing there, avoiding the Frostbreath as it comes out. Man, these players are just so good at this game.
Can we talk about how awesome the Obsidian Shardamir wall looks?
So good.
I love it. He
right
gets such
side,
great
the
treatment.
towering pressure here. Zaylia looking for the tower kill. He's gonna find it. Another tower in favor of C9. The first tower of the game, really. Getting some gold there, some stacking up that amount. In fact, they've got their lead.
Yeah, that 1,000 gold has actually put them 900 in the lead up until this point. It was a pretty even game, and if you take a look at the board here, we also see major tower damage on the left side. Smek could add another 1,000 to the coffers very quickly.
Smek has an ultimate available as well. If he wants to contribute to a fight in the mid lane, he certainly can. hi-rez rotating over here, trying to find a blink onto the Sayo. But there goes the rotation from Zaylia, preventing them from doing so. Going to find Murder in the jungle as well. And not only trying to commit, looks like Qin just using his natural tank. His Desert Fury coming out, trying to steal the blue buff, but unfortunately leashes it the last second. So now his ultimate is on cooldown.
Yeah, that I'm sure he's not too thrilled with. He has been using that every single time he's been in an engagement. I think this is the first time it really hasn't worked out for him. But we're going to see a Gold Fury.
We're going to see a Gold Fury attempt as we see Murder in the area. Frostbreath, Glacial Strike. They're going to go for the kill. Spirit Arrow forces them out completely. And now there's the jump in from Suntouch. There goes the initiation. Oh, Qin taking some damage here, dropping quite low. Do they have enough AoE damage? Gortak jumping in. There goes the Hand of the Gods. There's the ultimate as well. Qin stunned out, but they have no way to control this.
Sayo gets the silence off onto Gortok, trying to control the middle lane. You see the stun coming out to Spoo as well, using the beads to stop the freeze, and he will walk away. But I'm sure Team Coast is screaming worth.
That's land right there.
Yeah.
See how fast he pushed that purification piece? My God. It's like he wasn't even frozen in the first place. This wasn't preempted. This was after the fact. Beautiful play there. Look at the gold right now. We're going to see a lot in hand here. Gortak 1,400, but 2K for Spook.
And you see he's low health, so I'm sure he's thinking, I could take a trip back.
I want to buy things. I like shopping.
I could go back.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, you trying to go to like Chipotle? Like, I could go to Chipotle.
Is that what you say when you're at Chipotle? Is it like an excited thing?
Well, they sell Izzy's.
Don't talk about it. Left side looking for the issues on Spudball, rooted the ground. There goes a reach activation, but not going to be hitting there. Of course, we're waiting for the damage output from Suntouch. Suntouch actually goes for Breastplate of Valor first, and look across the way, there are only 2 physical damage dealers over there.
Smek has 1 death right now. Obviously, will have had his stacks hurt a little bit, but overall, I have to imagine he's very, very close to those stacks as the first, or rather second tower falls for Team Coast, and then the middle tower is about to die in 1 hit.
Looking for hi-rez in the jungle, rotated around. We saw 2 ultimates used there. As well as Odin's ultimate, not going to be used. Murder in trouble. He has a lunge available, but can't use it. The detonator's going to come out any second now. Won't be enough to finish him off, but would root him in place with that stun there. They're going to back off entirely. Now, we're going to see some interesting items here coming out from C9. Again, just mentioned the full CDR build from Suntouch. I'm surprised to see him not going for any damage early on, considering the fact that he's only getting physical protection for Funball specifically, but now going to go for some penetration.
The same thing I'm thinking with Zalia, who has opted into Stone of Gaia third instead of the normal Fatalis. So he's doing a very different build that we usually see from baby players.
You know, maybe they're looking for the damage from Smack and the damage from Sio. Speaking of damage, Kiwan dropping low here. Probably it's a little bit hi-rez going to kill on Sio. Kiwan up in the air looking for a rotation on Suntouch under the tower, but not going to go for it. Zalia in the back wants a kill. Big baby. Kiwan dropping low, gets the kill. Armor not really coming out. There's the root from the Scylla. Looking for a kill on Zalia. Great wall from hi-rez. Zalia gets out.
He almost actually turned that around with the defender of Olympus. They can really just, oh wait, Funballs again almost gets caught by Suntouch. This tower is guaranteed to go down here. Let's just do the applause preemptively.
Interesting. There it goes.
Don't make me look ridiculous. Hit the tower. There we go. All right.
The clapping works out. hi-rez in trouble. Cannot blink right now. No way to get out. Can they get him in time? hi-rez going to be very low. Sue's only coming out there. And looks like the rotation going to Murder in trouble. Oh, wow. Was that Scylla using
He needs one more juke. He got it. I think he's going to escape. He did not get the second detonate. Just barely got out of that one. Both Murder and hi-rez got very low.
Very, very low. Gortak trying to hit it from over the wall, but didn't have the distance he wanted. You know, we're going to see a little bit of a lead here for C9. 1,600 gold. Experience is pretty much even. The towers, although, are in favor of C9. So if Coast can get a pick or a team fight victory, they have so much gold that's just waiting for them in those towers and objectives.
That's true, but at the same time, Cloud9 hasn't really allowed them to do a lot of tower damage, most of which has been done to the mid tower, but it's still sitting at about 45% health, roughly. And that,
44.
I mean, that's, oh yeah?
44.
44.
All right, 44 it is.
I hope someone at hi-rez right now is checking that.
Let us know if you have. Put it on that ticker on the bottom what percentage it actually is right now.
By the way, we're doing Price is Right rules.
Are we?
No, that doesn't help. No, yeah, that's just...
That wouldn't work.
That helps me.
That doesn't work. No. hi-rez in the mid lane looking for some slow here as the wave gets cleared out. Mid tower here is very low. Sio defending adamantly. We do have some penetration picked up by Suntouch. Looking for that Obsidian Shard. He needs as much as he can. Also, lacking on the active items. Only tier 1 Hand of the Gods left on Suntouch. Delaying that pickup as well. Look across the way. Spoo says, all I need is combat blink. Stop putting me in a cage. I'm tired of it.
You know what's funny is 2 times now we have seen that cage completely countered by the Lightning Storm itself, just using it against his own team. But it should be noted that when you're inside of that cage, as an ally, you do gain the protections.
You certainly do, and it's really important that you stay in there if you can. Looking for hi-rez, blink. The ultimate's going to take a lot of damage to get it. Pops the shards of ice. Last-ditch effort. hi-rez going to go down.
There it is again. He's only going to get 2 charges, but he got 3 onto Zalia. But the baby doesn't really matter too much, or rather mind, as he took Stone of Gaia. I mean, that's a lot of magical defense.
hi-rez going to be looking for as well. Silver Breastplate about to be finished, or already finished here for him. Funball has Rage Heartseeker. We have officially started Shoeless Saturday, ladies and gentlemen.
left, or rather right side. I'm a Monster going to do some damage, but not nearly enough to deter Cloud9, who continues to push forward. Decoy is going to go down. They have another chance to push, but the crush clear is too strong. Cloud9's going to be forced back here, and all the while, Mr. Funball has been getting some solo experience, which I'm sure he's super excited about, as he is level 16 right now, 3 levels ahead of Smek.
Now, what do you make of Gortak's build here? We have a restored artifact as well as a Tension. He's looking for the rod as well as Polynomicon, but he's kind of doing them in tandem.
I like it, honestly. I think it's a great pickup because Polynomicon is going to do damage based off of how much power you have currently. So if he's going to opt into Rod next and then go back into Poly, he's going to be swinging like the god he should be swinging as.
We got a little bit of mana there, some life steal to keep himself alive. Of course, get that HP pool stacked up as high as he can, and once he gets that Rod done, looking at the golden hands, about 700, needs about 500 more, 600 more, he'll be able to have it, and then all of a sudden his damage will increase, and like you said, I'm a Monster, the more damage it does, the more likely you can get another one on top of it if you can finish the kill.
I mean, once she gets big, if she hits I'm a Monster in endgame, your team is just going to disappear.
That's right, and so of course Sentinel keeps her very, very safe. She can blink away if she needs to. Also use it as a ward for some vision and zoning control.
Speaking of blinks, we got one into the mid lane. Sayo popped his beads pretty preemptively, but another blink comes through the wall.
Oh, not over yet. hi-rez in trouble. Pops Sullivan now surrounded here by Suntouch, looking for the taunt. There's the taunt to keep in front of Zalia. Zalia is going to come through, but Sayo gets the kill. Detonate charge. There goes the wah from Q coming through there. Crushes the ground. Sayo goes down. Zalia in trouble, surrounded here, but looking for a kill. You just clear the path to disengage. Left side, Funball. He's going to jump away so close here, but Suntouch in close pursuit. Jumps in place, actually.
Impale! Destruction!
Wow. Murder. Can't defend it. Nowhere to go. We got like 2 for 1 there in that situation. A strong pickup, but it looks like C9 was not on the better end of that stick.
You know, Suntouch chased for a long time, waiting for that confound to come up. Even the shield wall and Funball's present to mind. Wait a second, I have CC. No problem.
You know what I chalked this up to? Lack of damage. Suntouch went for a very high utility defense build at the beginning, but just couldn't get the damage he needed. Q-Win goes down.
We got a Chain Lightning. It went off pretty big here, but Gold Fury has 3 stacks. It don't really hit. hi-rez finishes off Zalia's Spoon, not quite able to keep the Gold Fury in play right there, so they're going to have to start it over to members of C9 moving in here. Smek throws out the Spirit Hour, doesn't hit. One Hand of the Gods comes out. Whoa, Coast almost loses that one, but they do manage to pick it up, and they find Murder in the process.
Spirit Ball coming out there as well. Not going to be doing much damage. Of course, not going to land. Gold Fury is going to be picked up by C9, as you saw there on the graph. 1,000 gold in their favor, but you know, Coast looking for towers is exactly what they need to do. Get that gold that's gained by those towers. There's 2,000 gold sitting in the map there, and it's pretty easy to get. Tier 1 tower in the mid lane and Tier 2 or Tier 1 tower on the right side of the map, and they need to get it. I mean, they're currently sitting a little bit behind, but if they get that lead, they'll be very confident.
You know, keep in mind, everything they're throwing out here is a skill shot. This is a third-person MOBA. They're aiming every single shot. So every time you see that Impale, he is aiming that directly at a person, at a wall, to ensure that he can get that stun, because it's the only way it's going to stun. And that's, you know, I think Funball might be the most underrated player at the tournament.
You're not even the Impale, but also the basic attacks. It's not right-click auto-aim.
That's
you have to aim every single shot you throw out. And of course, you're up against a very fed hunter like Funball. You can dodge every single shot if you're good enough. And that's exactly why we love Smite so much. 21 minutes and 35 seconds into this match. It's looking to be pretty even so far. Of course, first game was pretty even there. C9 did end up picking that up, but, you know, Coast, they have to get a win here.
You know, speaking of even right now, we do see C9 right now with the gold lead, but Coast has the experience lead, which is a big deal.
That's exactly right, and we're kind of seeing that here in the graphs reflected. Sayo running towards the mid lane, see if he can't pick something up. There goes the clear on the wave. Now, the Fire Giant hasn't really been a big point of contention this game so far. They've been waiting for an opportunity to get it. The picks have been slow, and you know, with an even game like this, you can't just jump on the Fire Giant. Actually, we're going to see Spook. Now, the Rod is done here for Gortak. Got the damage output from the Rod. It's a Hootie. Now, the Polynomicon almost done. Looking at the gold total, he just needs 100 more gold. Do you like Soul Reaver as the next item?
You know, on Scylla I do. On Scylla, it's just hit someone with I'm a Monster and kill them.
Of course, it does give credit for the kill for the next hit on a monster if you do get it with the Soul Reaver. But here comes the initiation, more attack, more Spectral Tower, Sprint and Purification Beast activated. Murder's going to trap in Zeus. Athena ultimate goes in. There goes forcing the combat blink, but 2 ultimates are now down for C9, trying to find Q and Creepy Curse comes out. Frost Breath, Glacial Strike, Sun Touch, pretty tanky though. Shards of Ice come out, needs to get out of this situation for himself. There goes the blue buff. Vortex goes down, and Azalea pops ultimate, but now he's out of position in the backside. Can he survive? Going forward here, going to find Spoo in the jungle in the backside, looking for Blood Ball.
No, he almost turned that around. hi-rez undeterred, chasing down Sun Touch, has put himself in a bad spot. He needs that wall right now. Nice dodge on the preemptive strike, but there's no dodging. Gungnir's Smite, not even the lunge. Smek takes that one right from underneath Murder.
Literally.
Literally.
Literally. He was in the air.
What a fun day.
This is a fun day. Fun ball?
No, he died before that.
Oh, okay, fun day.
Fun day.
Azalea in the jungle here looking to find someone. Q1 and Spoo in the front, looking for some charges. He's going to clear the path. Oh, rotating around Q1. Get greedy here. The rotation, the flank, but it is Vomana.
Clear the path is on cooldown. I don't see an ultimate bubble ready either. That's only 1 stack so far. He's doing a good job. Defender of Olympus. Actually, that charge might go down. He's got to restart. Spoo's getting turned on. Chainlight, he's going to be good, though. There goes the detonate, but he doesn't have the damage. Azalea might... Oh, Azalea definitely find to kill Smek.
Wow.
Another kill steal.
Wow. Amazing. That was an attempt to kill Azalea, and it got turned around immediately. And that's the power of Athena's ultimate, Defender of Olympus, relocating from anywhere on the map to jump down on top of a teammate in need, and also getting a kill there. So beautiful play by C9 and by Ned.
Oh!
Whoa!
You're holding that one.
You went off with the spear.
No, sir.
I'm done. That's it.
Honestly, after that one, Coast can't be too far behind as Cloud9 secures the Fire Giant, the experience lead, the gold lead, and now they're pressuring the right lane. Of course, they don't have Neath, the character that's going to be doing the most damage to towers, but they still have Murder to ensure that Odin Shout's going to increase that attack speed. Done a little bit early there, but I don't think it's going to deter them from taking the tier 2.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about that spear really quickly. Now, he didn't use it right away. He waited until Q1 committed, so they can get a kill afterward. The amount of intelligence it requires and discipline it requires to do that. Now, of course, if he's late, they lose the Fire Giant or possibly have it stolen away, but he waits long enough for Q1 to go all the way into the Fire Giant lair, commit to the fight, get blocked immediately, guarantee the kill as well.
You know, Murder coming into this event, a lot of people, you know, he's kind of a newer player onto the scene. You don't see him every single week, but he has shown up, man. Everything that we've seen him do so far has been incredible. And finally, you're going to see C9 rush down the left side and take the final tier 2 available for Team Coast Blue.
7,000 gold in the way of C9. Coast has to pull something out here. Now, when you're at this point, the phrase is always fight on Phoenix, fight on Titan. Do not fight in the open and don't defend towers. You're not comfortable. The Fire Giant buff plus the gold difference is not enough for them to fight out in the open, even let them have gold fury. You have to fight on Phoenix, fight on Titan, or you're not going to be safe.
That, or they need to get wards all over this map and find a pick.
Everywhere.
But I don't think C9's going to separate too much here, except for the fact that we're going to see Smek go down for the speed buff. But I think after that, they're going to group up and just be the best of friends.
They need to. I mean, honestly, the big group mobbing around don't give any picks available. Look at the gold enhanced. Mexican go home spending 2,100 gold. What's he going to pick up? Chin size is now complete. I think he likes damage.
No, that increases his boxing potential by so much. Rage and Shin size has been favored over Deathbringer by a lot of players this weekend, and now it looks like he's going to be starting up Jotun's Wrath to ensure he gets extra cooldown reduction.
Now, actually,
something I personally love on Hunters.
We actually met up with all the casters and hosts in the hotel before this all set up, and we had a conversation about chin size versus Deathbringer and how that worked out. Chin size and item is very interesting because the mathematics don't measure up to how it's working so far, but when you're a hunter, you're usually joining the fight a little bit late. You want to be in their beginning. Right. You want to jump in when all the AoEs are down, everyone's low HP. Chin size gets better the lower HP they are.
That's right. Not to mention, you should calculate your own ability damage. You're going to lead with things like Spirit Arrow to ensure you can land attacks.
World Weaver, everything.
Precisely. And we're going to see something go down here in the left lane. Middle lane, we do see Sayo keeping some pressure on, but they're going to be really contesting the left side here as we're seeing 4 members of C9 crash against 4 members of CST.
Looking for it. Phoenix available. Qin in the front, taking some shots here from Smack. There's the ultimate murder, trapping Qin as well as Spoo, forcing the somersault cloud up in the air. Spoo blinking away, just keep himself safe, but that's now on cooldown. Desert Fury coming through, murder dropping low. There's the Zeus ultimate coming out. I'm a monster avoided by Gortak, throwing it down. Zaylee in the backside, needs ultimate on Qin, forcing him back to the well. They're including all in a corner here. hi-rez gets picked off by Sayo in the front. Now looking at the mid Phoenix, all Phoenix to the left side of the map are gone. Funball avoids the spirit arrow for the time being. Sayo looking for the rotation. Gortak dropping low. He missed it. He could have detonated it for the kill on Gortak, but was looking for Funball instead. Smack now looking to follow up here, but they have 2 Phoenixes down.
That spirit ball made my heart jump, but I want to give a shout out to Sayo there, because while the 4-on-4 was going on, he soloed a Phoenix as Isis and then killed a Ymir.
That's right.
By himself.
Exactly right. And I think, speaking about a heart skipping a beat, I think Gortak's heart skipped a beat when that spirit ball just passed right through him when he had 2 HP and went to somebody else.
He went for Funball, who just kind of like wiggled in the back line, just... I was scared for him.
I think he was scared enough for the both of us.
But 2 Phoenixes down, no Gold Fury, Fire Giant on the respawn. What does CST do here?
There's a lot they can do as far as conceptually, but putting it into action is very difficult.
You know what? Normally, this would be the part where the casters would be like, this is a really rough, it's very hard to come back, but we saw this happen yesterday.
15,000
3 Phoenixes down.
Deficit.
Are you kidding me?
That's right. Snipe won game 1. Looking to win game 2, trying to 2-0. 15,000 gold to lead. Cox says, oh yeah, we're #1 seed.
Dare to Care rushes in, finds 4 people with a Cataclysm, and then Barra respawns. But Team Coast Blue is going to have a hard chance trying to do that as Qin gets caught here. Can he get up into the sky?
Shot.
He's so low.
Of course, Neath ultimate being primed. Oh, they're not blocking it! They're not blocking it!
No.
Gortak, how in the world? He thought he was going to go for it and left the body. He blocked it at first.
You hate to see these kinds of things
happen. He blocked
happen.
it at first and then figured it wasn't going to be enough. Now Fire Giant Base started up here
no hand.
by C9, and with Qin gone, no hand available. A hand of the gods all the way across the map. hi-rez has a hand 1, but it hasn't upgraded it just yet. It's going to be free.
Yeah, there's no way for them to contest. They're not even going to try. And look at this. While this is happening, they know they're going to push. Sayo goes back to the base to start spending some of that gold.
You see 1 ward being placed down. Look at this. There's a sentry ward in front of the Fire Giant. No one to clear it out. And of course, body blocked there by the actual rock formation in front of the Fire Giant area. Polynomicon completed for Spoo. Polynomicon completed for Gortak. But Gortak hasn't even been able to start his 4th item yet.
That's rough. That's insanely strong at this point, given the fact that Scylla is probably the most damage-intensive god in the game. She needs damage to function, plain and simple.
She certainly does, and of course she lives on it. I mean, the ultimate guaranteeing another hit if you get a kill, damage is exactly what you want to build on. We're going to see that a lot of damage being built up here by both these teams. But Sayo, he's got Rod, Polynomicon, Boots, Obsidian Shard, Damage Buff, and Fire Giant.
I don't want to alarm you. Spoo is currently sitting on 235. Scylla is at 494.
But
and then Sayo.
703.
What?
Fire Giant, Damage Buff, Rod, Polynomicon. No, you also have to factor in the Polynomicon in this because he's going to be able to Spirit Ball, Poly hit.
Bye-bye.
That's like 80% of someone's HP, guaranteed.
Maybe more depending on who he hits. I think we're going to rush it down here, Drybear. I think they're going to go for it. They're grouping up. We see Athena in the back line. Spirit Ball's going to go off. Ooh, that would have been half his health.
Very, very close again. To reiterate, Isis' Spirit Ball does more damage the longer goes. I'm a monster coming out, not going to land there, but not going to kill anyway. Crush comes out, Saldish goes down. This could be a big chance for Coast. Killing spree for Azalea. Followed up on Q, and there's the Neath, not going to be able to finish off Spoo in the back end. Goes into the well, heals right back up. Funball's going to go down to Styles, Polynomicon. Basic attack, Q going in. Can he get something done? The Titans under pressure, but can they defend it?
They're trying to. It's really not taking too much damage. They're focusing more on the players, and Spoo is playing lightning from the fountain. He's not even leaving it. But look at the damage on the Spirit Ball. You saw him try to get the cancel. Cancels actually the Wing Gust, and then immediately tries to jump out of there with the Blink. I can't believe they're holding them off. Chain Lightning, 2 shots to Spoo, or from Spoo to Sayo's going to do some damage, but they haven't been able to push the Minotaur down.
They still have the Fire Giant buff, keeping them alive with HP and mana regeneration. Murder going deep, looking for Spoo, I should say. Gortak sprints. Look at the damage.
There
Gortak
it was.
fails it. Give it up for Cloud9. hi-rez A 2-0 victory over Coast. The first set of the day. They're making a name for themselves.
Before we continue on, guys, I want to make sure everyone in the crowd gives a major shout out to Denial Esports and Team Coast Blue for coming to Atlanta. Give it up, guys. Loud.
We have our 2 eliminated teams for today, Coast and Denial. Now, there's a lot of fans for those teams. They've been fighting very, very hard. I'm a fan. I'm always a fan.
But we're going to shoot it up to the Alienware analysis desk with Trent Kill and the boys to talk about that set. Stick around.
Thanks, guys, and welcome back to the analyst desk. We're still here with Bart, Lionheart, and DJ Pernicus, and we're still live at the Smite launch tournament. Guys.
Barely.
Yes.
Barely still living.
So we saw Cloud9 take that one home. What are your thoughts on the game, guys?
I mean, it seemed like Coast had a really good opportunity that game. Some missed opportunities to capitalize on some pivotal kills in that game, I think, was the name of that one.
Yeah, I really liked the way that Team Coast drafted, actually. I thought that there were a lot of potential in the way that they set up their team, but when it came down to the execution in the mid game, in the late game, it really wasn't there. They built themselves a good lead early on, but they weren't able to capitalize.
Right, yeah, we saw the first blood on Sayo between, it was basically a gank of Zeus and Ymir, utilizing that combo very effectively. And Sayo obviously went back to base because he died, and he did not buy beats. That's important to note. Here it is in the mid lane. You see Zeus just, auto-attacking, not using abilities, and the freeze comes out and ults, and just dead instantly. He's vaporized. That's a combo that's utilized very often in ranked play because it's easy to do. And the fact that Sayo did not get beads and then came back to lane and died again was interesting, but not exploited. And I think that's where they kind of lost it going into the later game. They had the teamwork going early, and they just didn't seem to want to, go on, use that combo more effectively late.
Yeah, that was the key, right? The Ymir freeze was really the key to the combo. Not only did they have the Zeus ultimate to be able to drop down, but they also had I'm a Monster from Scylla.
Right.
And that combination would have been devastating if Ymir was able to get the freeze, I'm a Monster comes out, that's where Scylla turns into the big form, smashes down, and if she gets the kill, she gets to smash down again. So that's a whole bunch of damage that could have been utilized, that could have been enough to turn the fights in their favor, but it wasn't. And as we'll talk about later, actually what happened is that the entire time Gortok on Scylla is getting pressured by Xaylia and getting pushed out of the fights.
Yeah, they picked, like you said, they picked a great team. They picked a team that needed organization, right? They had the Ymir and 2 nuking mages. Like you said, I'm a Monster was talked about in the forums about how OP it would be, right? You can use it multiple times if you get the killing blow, and it does such crazy damage and scales so high. And I would have thought that we would have seen more grouping up, more Ymir freezes on multiple targets, more Zeus ults that hit an entire team, or at least 3 priority targets, into the Scylla ult and just death. But for whatever reason, they did not work together. There was not the organization needed to utilize those 2 bursting mages.
Yeah, and I want to go back and talk to you, Pernicus, specifically about hi-rez. He looked like he was starting out extremely strong, and then kind of fell off. Was that the Ymir in the jungle that did that, or was it misplays? What do you think happened there?
Well, I think, like I said, for Ymir to be effective, you need your teammates to be on the same page as you.
Right.
He's not one of the characters, he's not a Freya. He can't just run around, doing his own thing and one-shotting everyone. He's basically there to isolate a target, to keep them in place, and to hit high-priority ultimates like the I'm a Monster, like the Zeus ult, which Zeus used to be not picked a long time ago because his ult was thought of as almost impossible to hit, right? You put down a huge cloud and everyone just walks out of it.
Right.
Well, Ymir's freeze is there to make that easy to hit. It's to make the life of your teammates just easier, basically, overall. And for whatever reason, they weren't able to put it together. They weren't able to maybe communicate those things. And ultimately, Beads, the active, we know that removes that freeze, kind of took him out of the game late.
Right.
And communication was really the key, right? I mean, we talked about this in the last game, and I think that Team Coast struggled with this again. This game this isn't their usual roster, so the communication, the kind of vibe that you would normally have, the synergy you would normally have, is a little bit off. And unfortunately for the team composition, it was all about the synergy. I mean, that's what we've been talking about. So to have that kind of disadvantage going into it also definitely played a part in the way the team was able to execute or not execute on their specific picks.
Yeah, I think that, to kind of combine your 2 thoughts and sentiments there, what you saw was a team that had a lot of single-target CC between the Ymir and the Sun Wukong, and it just wasn't executed in a way that allowed them to find the Zeus damage. And I think it was exactly what you said, is that the problem was they were being zoned. Their big burst mages were kept out of that fight, and the team really seemed to prioritize trying to deal with the Vamana did not get to a point where they were actually able to do much against him, even with all the magical pen they built to deal with that Son of Gaia, the weakening curse, the sprints, and the mobile characters. Xaylia still found 6 kills and still kept the mages out of the game.
Right, and you know, we're aware that Vamana's ultimate makes you CC immune, but that's not always going to be up. And he didn't have beats, so you would think the way they built with the penetration, they would prioritize maybe collapsing on Vamana and either peeling or saying, you know what, we're going to wait for that ultimate to fall, or maybe even catch him with the Ymir blink and freeze him before he's able to ultimate and nuke him down. But it seemed like their builds and their overall team ideology of how they wanted to play that game were just 2 different things entirely.
Yeah, and Bart, I'm going to ask you this. It seemed like a fairly slow game, at least the pace was fairly slow. Was there a turning point in the game that allowed Cloud9 to win, or was it a constant progression?
Well, I think that it was pretty clearly the first Fire Giant. I mean, that obviously is where you saw all the towers come off the board, but I think you really have to talk about what set that play up, I think is really what's important there. And I think in a lot of ways it was the pressure of having the Odin and Athena around the map, forcing people to consider overextending, you know, maybe trying to get an over-aggressive ward. They could get caught out so easily because Sun Wukong does not have that natural escape out of the Ring of Spears.
The other thing also was, in the turning point, is Coast wasn't really aggressive when they had a lead. They built themselves up a lead, and they had this great team comp that we talked about executing on, but then they kind of played back. It seemed like they were more interested in, okay, can we get the pick? Okay, we'll get a pick on Sayo. Sayo actually got picked a number of times in that game. But at the same time, then somebody else on Coast would get picked. And then, okay, now it's 4v4. We're not really comfortable with the straight team-on-team engagements. We're just going to back off and buy more time. And all the while, Cloud9, hi-rez is saying, okay, we'll farm. We'll get to a point where we're comfortable, and we'll pick the fights that we want. And when they had an advantage, they would actually push. They would drive objectives. Team Coast seemed to have trouble doing that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, as in-game leaders, look at money as an indicator of when we should fight and when we shouldn't fight. You know, when it's even, maybe they're a little more hesitant. When they're ahead, obviously they want to fight more. But what you need to keep into account is that your team comp, in a sense, can be stronger, well, obviously stronger at a certain point in the game, so the money might be a little bit irrelevant. So I think if they had a little bit more confidence in their ability to group up, take team fights early with the Ymir and with the 2 nuking mages, it would have been a lot better. I think they might have been scared a little bit, like you said, maybe of the Vamana, and ultimately that led them to take fights later on when they weren't as effective.
So one of the things that I definitely noticed about that game is the European versus European teams. We see a much different play style than we did from any of the NA-EU matchups or the NA-NA matchups. Anything in particular that you guys saw that you want to highlight about that?
I mean, I want to say the thing that I really like to see in this game, and I'm a big advocate for it, is the Guardian or Mage Bruiser role. You know, we saw Athena and a Ymir in jungle, and I hope to see that more going forward, because we see how effective that can be, having a Vamana, you know, in the solo lane, just farming away, building DPS items, and then instead of having, you know, a Bruiser in that role, then you can put the Bruiser in the jungle, and he can build more tanky items, and maybe not get as much farm, but just freeze or support, you know, basically with a taunt, another ability that works really well with the team. I want to see that going forward, and I hope we do.
Just to catch you guys up, we do have SK taking 2-0 over Denial on the other stage. So we have our game set for the next round. It's going to be the rematch of Cloud9 versus Team Dignitas, and it's going to be SK Gaming versus Smite coming up next.
Absolutely, and we're not going to throw it back down to the casters. We're actually going to send it to hi-rez Kelly, who's sitting on the interview couch with Sayo. So she is getting ready to give you guys a lot of information about how he feels about that win today.
Hello, everybody. I am here with Sayo? I didn't know you were Sayo. You're Sun Tunch, of course, from Cloud9. And I just saw that replay of you with playing Bastet. Why do you like Bastet as a jungler?
It's just fun, and it has cats. Who doesn't like cats, right?
Everyone seems to like cats. So, you're going to be going up against Team Dignitas up next. How do you guys feel about that? What is your fears facing against them, and what are you confident going up against them?
Their overall aggression is like crazy and hard to predict. When we watched them, it was just like, whoa, you know, whenever they're low, they're always giving it 100% to do their maximum damage. And we'll just try and counter gang and build a lead from there.
So, this is one of the first times that we've seen NA and EU versus each other, especially in a LAN setting. What's the really major differences that you've been seeing in the meta?
They really prefer Nemesis. They seem to ban it or pick it first, whereas we kind of let it through. And that caught us off guard, and the power of Nemesis. Other than that, it's fairly similar, but they're a lot more aggressive, to be honest.
Very interesting. Do you have anything to say to your sponsors or maybe your fans? Do we have any SunTouch fans right here?
Thank you for all the support for Cloud9. We love you guys. Thank you for Logitech, Alienware, and Crunchyroll for all the support. And hopefully we'll win our next game, and you guys keep cheering for us.
Yeah, let's hear it for SunTouch. All right, thank you so much, SunTouch, and good luck on your next match. And we're now going to go back to the hosts.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Guys, you have been a really wonderful audience, and I know you're going to be excited for this next game. We have Snipe versus SK Gaming. Interested? You know, if you're not interested, I'll tell them to go home. Oh, you're interested? All right, let me hear one big one for the next match at 12 o'clock. Everybody's awake in here. The players are ready to play. Keep your butts in your seats. Our next match starts at noon. Don't go anywhere.